this is Gina. I am going to show you how to make a really simple, really fast, wire wrapped ring. Now with these rings I'm using a top drilled crystal. I'm also going to show you how to do one with a regular drilled bead. So if you do not have the top drilled crystals, don't panic, you can use a round bead. But the whole reason I designed this is because I thought it would work really good with the top drilled crystal. Look at the way the globe sticks. I think that's just so cool. I've also designed it to be asymmetrical. You can make it straight across. You see what I'm talking about is I crisscrossed it here, and then it's wider on this side, and then I wrapped here. So it has a little bit more character to it than just wrapping around and wrapping this side and wrapping that side and having both sides exactly the same. So it's just a little bit different look, and I've made several of them, so I'll show you what they look like. Here's a turquoise one. Here's another turquoise. This one I scarfed all the way down the side here. This one I wrapped the side, but I used less wire so you can get a more dainty look. I'll show you what it looks like on. Anyway, without further ado, let's learn how to make these really cute rings. It's fast, it's fun, and you can make a million of them in no time. Okay, for this project, you will need some 20 gauge wire. I am using this copper wire. It's just soft wire, and it's a really light tone. It's almost pink. It's really pretty wire. You can also use silver tone, platinum tone, whatever color you would like, just as long as it's a soft wire. And then you can have some nylon nose pliers out. You shouldn't need them unless your wire comes off your spool kind of messed up. And then you can just pull it through like this and straighten it up if you need to. And then some, I'm using my needle nose pliers. You just chain nose pliers or flat nose pliers. Chain nose works better. And then some wire end cutters here. You'll also need a ring mandrel, something round that you know will fit your finger size. This ring mandrel here is just a plain solid piece of metal that you can hammer on. And this one I've marked the ring sizes that I normally wear. So this one is 8, this is 7.5, and this is 7, and that's usually where I stay when I make my rings. Or you can use a regular ring sizer. However, when you're making your ring on something like this, it has the marks on it so you can tell where you're wrapping, but because I have the two types of measurements on either side, US and other country, it flattens my wire as I wrap it around. So I just want to make sure that my ring is round. So you could wrap it around this initially and then slip it onto something like this too. That's fine. So a ring mandrel is what you'll need. And then some beads. And I'm going to show you 2 different ways. The reason I decided to do this tutorial, because there's a lot of simple, easy wrap rings on YouTube, but I tried it with a top drilled round crystal and it works beautifully because then the bead sits up higher in the wrap like this, like a little globe, and you don't have to bend the wires and get around the bead being drilled halfway. You can have it set up higher. It's really pretty. It works out really nice. I was playing with it the other day and discovered that. So if you want some of these, I got these at ChineseCrystalBeads.com, or you can look online, or Shirley at Budget Bead Box said that she is going to get some in stock, so you can also check with her if you'd like to get. This is a 9mm round top drilled crystal. This one is about 6mm round. They're the same thing. The hole, instead of going through the middle of the bead, is drilled towards the top like this. And that's the difference. And I will also show you how to do it with just a regular round bead. And this is a gemstone bead. It's howlite, I believe. I don't think it's turquoise. But anyway, that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. So let's go ahead and get started.
Okay, so as I said, I've cut 14 inches of 20 gauge wire. You might be able to get away with 12 too. Just play with it and see where you're at with it. Now I'm going to grab my top drilled crystal and I'm going to put it onto my wire, and I'm just going to bring it about 1/4 of the way up, like so.
And so you can see how much wire I have left here. And let's go about there.
So let me measure it and I will tell you how many inches.
So I've slid it up about 5.5 inches.
Now I'm going to grab a hold of it and I'm going to grab my ring mandrel and I'm going to put it right on this middle mark here. That's the size I want to make. And I'm just going to bring this wire all the way around, and then I'm going to wrap it around my bead. And then I'm going to cut it when I have enough wrapped. And I'm going to tuck it in. And then I'm going to bring this other wire all the way around. Now you see I crossed it right here.
And you don't have to cross them. I've crossed it simply because I think it makes a little bit more interest in the ring.
So you don't have to. You can bring it straight across if you'd like. Now I brought this one up and I'm going to
just bring it straight.
I'm not going to cross it, and I am going to wrap. You can wrap these several different ways. You don't have to do it the way I'm doing it. I'm just wrapping,
bringing each wrap underneath the previous wrap.
Until I'm pretty happy with that wrap. And then I pull it off. My ring mandrel helps if you go the right direction.
And see, now I have a wider opening here
and a slimmer one here. And I'm going to bring what's left of my wire down around this part here. You can cut it shorter if you'd like to. And I'm just going to wrap right where I twisted it. And this just gives me kind of a one-sided different look, kind of asymmetrical. And I like that. And I am going to cut a little bit of this wire off. I don't need quite this much. So you can go about 12 inches probably in your initial measurement. And I'm just wrapping it around the side here. And you can use your pliers too if you'd like. Which I think I might need to do. This wire isn't completely dead soft. It's soft and easy to use, but it's a little stiffer than dead soft. And then I'm just going to end my wrap right about here, and I'm going to end it towards the top so that when I cut it and tuck it in, if there's a little edge, it won't drive my finger crazy.
So now I've cut that off.
And now you can see there's a little tail right there. I'm going to tuck that in. And I'm just going to straighten up my wrap and tuck that in again. And then, once I have that done, I'm going to put it back on my mandrel, like so, and round it back out, because it gets a little distorted as you're working with it.
So you put it back on your mandrel,
makes it really nice and round, and then I can grab my little hammer and I can just lightly hammer it, just to stiffen it and set it. And you don't have to, but I kind of think it helps. Like so. And then I can take it off. And now I have
a size 7.5 ring. And I think it turned out really pretty.
And then I'll show you how to make one
with a round bead. But these top drilled beads, as you can see, they just set up really high and really pretty. And they're really nice to work with. So let's go ahead and make one
Okay,
with
so
round
this time I cut some 20 gauge tinned copper. And this is even a little stiffer than the last wire, but that's okay. So I'm just going to put this on my wire, and I'm going to bring it down a few inches here. About 5 like we did last time. And then I am going to bring these wires down. So I'm pushing this wire down against the bead, and then I am going to grab my pliers, and right at the bottom of the bead I'm going to bend it out, like so. Let's get you a little closer so you can see what I'm doing. And then again, we're going to bend this side down, and then with my straight nose pliers right at the bottom of my bead, let me bend that down a little bit better, I'm going to bend it out. So I'm just putting my pliers actually on the bottom of my bead so I can feel where I need to bend, like so. Once you have a shape like this, then you're going to get your mandrel, put it on the size you want, bring the long wire, oops, I caught a ring, bring the long wire behind the mandrel, like so, and then bring the short wire straight across. So this time I'm not going to cross my wires. So because before when I came around I went behind the bead. Now I'm just bringing it straight up like so, and I am going to begin wrapping around this bead with my shorter wire. I can hold it steady here, sorry guys. I'm going to wrap this wire around my bead, and with this wire it is quite a bit harder to work with. So I'm going to use my straight nose pliers, and I'm going to hold it on my mandrel, and I'm going to turn it because I can't do it with my fingers. I'm going to bring this wire around, and then I'm going to cut it. And then I'm going to push it under the wrap, right there. Now I've still got this long one here, and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to bring it straight over, and I'm going to wrap on top of the wrap I just made. So I can go up the bead a little higher, and then I'm going to come down to the bottom. So I went up, and then I just went down, like so. Then I'm going to pull this off and see what I have. And then I'm just going to grab this extra wire, going to bring it around. Boy, this wire is really hard, sorry guys. And bring it through my ring, like so. And I'm going to pull on it with my pliers here. And I'm just going to do a couple of wraps around these two on the side here, just because I kind of like to scarf this side and make it look a little different than the other side. And I'm not doing it really tight because my wires are straight. They're not crisscrossed over here. So I'm just trying to scarf it a little bit. And then I'm just going to push these up, like so. Then I'm going to bring this wrap towards the top here, and I'm going to cut this off and tuck it down. I think I'll cut that even a little shorter, if I can. And then just really tuck it in there. Okay. And now I'm going to push this around till it looks like I want it to. That doesn't look too bad. And then I'm going to put it back on my mandrel. Push it down to where the tension on it is going to straighten out my wires for me. And I can kind of shape it up a little bit if I want. You have to try these 2 or 3, 4 of them and just perfect a little method that you like. Wrapping it. If you don't like the asymmetrical look I'm doing, then you can just bring it around, wrap one side, and then bring the other one around, wrap one side. Just center your bead. You don't have to do it the way exactly like I'm doing it. But I think I kind of like this one-sided difference here. Let's see if it fits my finger. And it does.
And that's what that looks like. And let's get you a little closer so you can see. You can do these really quickly. And I'm going to put this in the 10-minute projects category that I've been working on. And create a playlist of 10-minute projects. But this is definitely a quick one. And, you know, try it a couple of times. Anytime you start messing with wire, it takes a couple of tries. So if your first one doesn't work, try it again. And then try your third one until you get it. But they will eventually work. Now this is the difference between the top drilled bead, see how high it sets up, and this is a bead that is drilled in the middle. And I really like the look of the top drilled bead. I really like that. And I've made several others, several sizes here. This is another one, and that's with the tinned copper, or maybe that one's stainless steel, I can't remember. And then this is another one I made. It's huge. Made it great big so I could put it on a bigger finger. But that is one with the other color crystal, and this is 6mm crystal. This is a 9mm crystal. This is probably about an 8mm bead here. So a 8mm is about a really good size. And this is a gemstone bead on this one, and it's an agate, and it's really pretty too. And you can see that I made it asymmetrical too, with the twisted wire on this side and the straight wires on this side. Actually, I twisted the wires on both sides on this one, but most of them I kept the wires kind of straight. But I made a bunch of them, just playing with it until I could perfect how I wanted it. And now I can do it with several different gemstones or whatever I like, but I still really like the look of the crystal the best. Anyway, that is how you make a really simple, really fast. Oh, and here's another turquoise one I made. See if I can get that on my finger too. That one turned out really pretty. See, I didn't wrap quite as much around that one. I did a less amount of wire, and I think that one turned out really pretty. So just play with it and see what you come up with. There's no right, there's no wrong. Have fun. See you later.